Hasan Piker. He's the most calm, cool, nonchalant streamer of all time. I mean, you can't find much better than this guy if we're talking politics.
This is so insane. America deserved 9/11, dude. Deserved 9/11, dude. Deserved 9/11, dude.
But in all seriousness, Hasan Abi, the streamer on Twitch, sucks. If you somehow don't know who he is, he's a pretty famous political influencer that mainly live streams on Twitch like every single day, and has gotten himself mixed up into some pretty heated controversy more than a few times, and he's been in some pretty hot water recently as well. But if that is the case, why is he even still on the website? Well, to explain that, you have to know who this guy is. This is Dan Clancy, the actual CEO of Twitch, who for some reason is absolute best buddies with Hasan, to the point to where there's a video floating around of Dan Clancy forcing the Twitch staff to sing Hasan happy birthday on video.
Birthday to you.
What the fuck?
Happy birthday to you.
Bro, we're never beating the Hasan runs Twitch allegations after this. Bro, we're never beating the Hasan runs Twitch allegations after this.
Now, I don't know the full history or what happened behind closed doors to make that friendship so strong, but due to this obvious favoritism of Dan Clancy for this one streamer, many people would claim, he might be a little bit of a favorite on the platform. But the allegations that he was Twitch's or Dan Clancy's favorite streamer was always dismissed. They were just friends, or Hasan was an underdog because of his ideals. Or people would say, Twitch doesn't show favoritism at all. Yeah, right. But the recent drama that happened with Hasan really puts any of those excuses to rest and shows just how much Twitch, or Dan Clancy specifically, loves, and I mean loves, Hasan Piker. Honestly, it would come to no surprise to me if one of Twitch's policies was that all the employees had to atone for their sins in front of a large stone statue of Hasan every morning in the office, similar to that of North Korean citizens in their morning ritual celebrating Kim Jong-il.
This is so insane. America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it, I'm saying it.
We're there to...
Now, if you're chronically online like myself, you may already know what recent drama I'm talking about. But just to preface the current debacle with Hasan, in case you don't, I want to provide some really important context before you see the clip that's got everybody up in arms right now. If you go to the Twitch community guidelines on the official Twitch website itself and skim, right there in bold text, it says on the front that attempts or threats to physically harm or kill others, as well as encouraging others to engage in acts that could hurt others on stream, will cause an indefinite ban on any account that engages in this behavior. Okay, so right from the horse's mouth, we know that encouraging violence or a call to action for violence upon somebody deserves an indefinite ban on Twitch. Okay, got it. So now that that's established, you can better understand why people might have a little problem with what Big Dog Hasan just said.
What we're going to do is go into those programs and carve out the fraud, waste, and abuse and find efficiencies. Couple of examples. There's about $50 billion estimated that are lost every year in Medicaid just in fraud alone.
That fraud is not coming from individuals, it's coming from providers. They're not tackling providers. They're not actually going after false billing. They are trying to cut recipients. If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would Rick Scott. Rick Scott.
I mean, that's a pretty brutal clip right there. If you didn't fully get what was happening, basically Rick Scott is a Republican politician, did some little fraud type behavior a while back. Hasan reasonably doesn't like him very much. I mean, you can't disagree with that. But he asked for someone to straight up game end him while live to tens of thousands of people on stream. And don't get me wrong, I know it's an empty threat, okay? 99% of the people watching Hasan would never do anything about anything. But all it takes is one maniac to take what Hasan said seriously, and something bad could happen. Saying something insane like this to tens of thousands of people is inherently dangerous no matter who you are. And that made it a pretty big deal. A lot of people didn't like what he said. And even though him and Twitch are besties, he did actually get banned for it, surprisingly. And this is good. Many people, when they saw it, they doubt he would even get banned in the first place because he was only banned one other time for saying some pretty cool stuff on stream. But that time was only for a week. So I mean, this is probably going to be for way longer, since it was basically a thinly veiled death threat. And for once, that's a big W for Twitch. I mean, I gotta hand it to him. I guess that's it. I mean, I don't really know what else to...
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
It was for one day. He was only banned for one singular day. Oh, okay. Oh, but wait. He added context to the clip. Maybe that'll make it better.
The reason why I'm saying if you cared about Medicare or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott is because, and not make him a prominent part of the Republican Party, is because he to this day is still known as committing the largest Medicare fraud in U.S. history.
Oh, he just explained that the guy he was talking about was a scumbag and still said he should get murked. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. The Rick Scott dude stole a lot of money and has the same ghastly appearance as Voldemort himself. I mean, he may just be the biggest scumbag ever, but wishing death upon someone publicly to a massive audience is a pretty big no-no in any context for any social media platform. I mean, most channels on YouTube and even most other people on Twitch would probably get annihilated either permanently or for a long time for something like that. But just because it's Hasan, Twitch said that he's allowed to wish death on people and basically say whatever he wants with the most severe punishment he can get being a measly 24-hour ban. And somehow, I don't even know how he managed to do this, in the short time he was unable to stream, he made a video on his main YouTube channel saying he was canceled. Yeah, once again, canceled, quote unquote, for all of 24 hours. But I know, it must have been hard for him. For a whole 24 hours, he only made $4 million in a single day instead of the usual $5 million he makes. However, credit where credit is due, he did actually take some blame and say that he shouldn't have used the language he did at the time, even if he was heated.
Okay, so obviously, I shouldn't have used hyperbolic language, and there's definitely some ownership that I must take. Some apologies there. I should not have said Mike Johnson should kill Rick Scott. I should have simply said Mike Johnson should punish Rick Scott, perhaps with the, maximum punishment. Mike Johnson should punish Rick Scott, perhaps with the, maximum punishment.
Which it's good that he half apologized, but honestly, how much does that mean from someone who has repeatedly exhibited behavior like this, no matter how many times it gets them in trouble, and doesn't really seem to want or try to change? But you would think, okay, Twitch being corrupt, nothing. Hasan's back to streaming, of course, and all of his fans will immediately forget what he did. Or they'll just straight up defend it and not care. And that must have been the end of it. But no, actually, because like a vigilante of the night, a caped crusader of sorts, the myth himself, Ethan from H3H3, would come out swinging. Now, if you also don't know about this, the bad blood between Ethan and Hasan runs deep, going back over a year when their podcast together imploded due to Hasan's insane fans. And the beef that started there between the two creators only got stronger over time until it finally culminated in Ethan dropping a nearly 2-hour-long exposed video on Hasan about a month ago, which, may not have gone over too well in Hasan's camp. And in an act of digital civil protest of Hasan's biased unbanning, H3H3 would rerun his expose video on Hasan on his main H3 Twitch channel 24/7. The constant rerun of his video followed all the guidelines and did not violate any of Twitch's TOS because Ethan knew Twitch would be gunning for it. But even so, the rerun was very short-lived because within hours of starting the 24/7 stream, H3's account was banned on Twitch for quote-unquote promoting violent content.
God! It got banned for encouraging or glorifying extreme violence.
Whoa.
That's fucking wow. That's Hasan's content that's on your platform.
So how is Ethan's channel is going to get banned for violent content, but you're not going to ban the actual source of said violent material? How does that make any sense? Oh, but it gets even better too. This wasn't just a one-day ban, like they gave their lab-grown baby Hasan. Oh no, this was a full-on 30-day ban. H3 even tried to repeal it, but their submission was pretty much instantly denied. The absolute favoritism in this situation could not be any louder. I mean, Twitch as a platform has to be run by only one-eyed mongoloids for this to be allowed. Now, in a shocking turn of events, the ban on H3's account would also be lifted just a little while later. And why, you may ask? Well, there's no conclusive evidence to what actually happened, but H3 himself posted a story saying that Hasan must have told somebody at Twitch to lift the ban, and I'll give you one guess who. And he probably told them to lift the ban because it was so obvious what Twitch was doing, and it made Hasan look even worse. Now, obviously, no concrete proof for this claim, but if I was Ethan, I'd probably theorize the same thing. I mean, why else would they ban H3, deny his appeal so quickly, then all of a sudden unban him again, if the almighty Hasan himself didn't say something? But either way, if you go back to H3's channel, he got right back on the horse and is currently rerunning the expose video again, which you just love to see it. So just to recap and summarize here, apparently, if you're Hasan Piker, you can say terrorist attacks are good things. You can even wish death on politicians and people like Rick Scott with very little punishment. All because you're friends with one weird gooner guy. Will this be the last time Hasan gets into drama or makes a death threat? I hope so, but probably not. Will Dan Clancy stop giving him the Twitch version of a reach around every single time it happens? Probably not either. But hopefully maybe one of these days, the entire Twitch platform will just implode and shut down. A boy can dream, right? But let me know what you think of the situation in the comments below, and if you're just as much of a Hasan hater as I am. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe. All of it helps, and it'll keep you tuned in to all the latest news, because I don't even know what the next piece of drama may be.